Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Chen Nasty back with another video, and I'll be doing another hometown story time video. Don't mind, just enjoy the nice gameplay of Fortnite. I'm not reacting to this or playing. I just have it as nice background scenery, and I just give you guys my story, and then you guys be on with your way, right? And this is probably nice gameplay. I'm horrible at this game, but it is what it is. Yeah. So. Like I said, I'm from a small town in Ohio, the southern border near Kentucky, right? And last time I told you guys a story about the guy that had paint and was rubbing that shit on his arms, like, oh yeah, like that shit, you feel me? And today, I'm gonna be telling you guys the story on how which one was I going to talk about today? There's so many. About the time, oh yeah, the time I witnessed a hooker being bought. And I know what you guys are thinking, some from bigger cities, oh, that happens all the time. One is illegal for where I live. And on the second note, it was in the middle of the goddamn day, 3 o'clock. Right? 3. So what happened was, I worked at a company called Hot Springs Pool and Spa Supply, right? And so if you can imagine, I'll click my hands, right? So let's say Hot Springs is right here. Right directly across the street is a Mexican restaurant called Toro Loco, right? Literally right across the street. And there's the road you get onto, so you're right here, you pull out, when you're leaving work or the shop, you pull out, get on the road, drive, stop signs on your right, and then it gets you out of the street that the two shops are on, or the restaurant and the shop, right? Oh, excuse me. So I'm leaving this bitch, right? I get off early today. It's a Friday, and all they have is cleanings. I get off early, right? And it's 3 o'clock when I'm off, okay? So I get in my car and I go to the shop to clock out, do talk with Nick for a second, ask him when I work again, bull crap, and then I pull out and then I get out. So I'm on this street probably 3:10, 3:15, right? So I'm driving, right, and I have to stop because there's this truck or an SUV looking thing sitting right here, right? And he's parked on the curb, but his car's moving, or his car started, and his car was moving, right? So he was creeping. So I thought he was creeping to see if anyone was coming and pull out, right? So I just, like any other person would do, I just stopped right here. I'm okay, I'm gonna wait for this guy to get out because he's going, and I'm gonna be a nice gentleman and let him go on his way, right? So he's creeping, right? Well, we're on this street, right? So to our right's Hot Spring, right, and to our left's Fort Loco, right? This girl, right, is parked on the other side. So our cars are facing this way, her cars are facing this way, and she's parked on the other curb. And she at Toro Loco, she's getting it to go where Toro Loco or some shit, right? And anyways, so he's creeping, but he's talking to someone, right? And he was talking to this girl who I assumed she was a hooker, but I didn't want to assume it because I hate generalizing people and just assuming just because you have a shitty car or whatnot, you're probably a fucking hooker. But she had all her clothes in the very back, right? All her furniture and shit was in the very back, and not her furniture, her clothes and just literally everything. And everything was in her back of her car. She literally lived out. People say they live out of my car. No, she literally lived in her car. Out of her car. All her clothes, all her toothbrushes and shit. All that shit was back in the back. And he was talking to her, and he was he's hey girl, you good? And what surprised me is, and I'm generalizing people, okay? Usually people in Portsmouth that pick up hookers, these hookers are really low end, and people who pick up these hookers are they're poor, they're not in the best of place. Sometimes they'll even pick them up in a car because they don't have one, right? But this guy was driving this real nice SUV. He even had another girl in the car with him, right? And so he's talking over to her. He's like, "Hey girl, you alright? You need anything or whatever?" And then they said some other stuff, and I could barely hear him because my windows are down and they're yelling, but like that's all I hear, right? Is like the echoing of their talk, and I can only get like bits and pieces of it, right? So she gets out of our car, right, and this is how I know she's a hooker for sure. For sure, she said to this guy, she was like, pulled up her like shorts and like put her like shirt down like that. She's like, "What you see is what you get." And like then I was like, "Oh no!" He's like, I was like, "Oh my god, is this guy picking up a hooker?" And you guys got, and I didn't say this, but you guys got to realize that a couple houses down, like you're at Hot Spring, a couple of houses down to the right, like further down the street, is a courthouse where cops go in and out all the time, like taking people to the courthouse and back. So I'm like, this dude's really trying to pick up this hooker, like now. So he picks up the hook, or he doesn't pick up the hooker. He goes, well, he was like, she like came and says what you see is what you get. Then they talk for a second. Then he's like, okay, why don't you follow me back to my place? She said, okay. Got in her car. He pulled off. She pulled off right behind him, and she followed him. And I was like, oh my god! Like, one, how'd they not get fucking caught? And two, that guy had some serious balls. Not only to pick up the girl with another girl in his front seat, but to do it so close to the courthouse. And three, what is this dude thinking? This girl probably has AIDS and STDs because hookers where I'm from, it's a poor town. So like, they'll literally take like anything. Like, you probably give them like $10 for 5 hours. They'll do whatever you want to them. They don't care if you have STD or they don't care if you use a condom, right? So I was like, oh my god, dude. So yeah, that's my story on how I witnessed a guy picking up a hooker at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, late afternoon, whatever you want to call it. It's probably not as good as the paint story, because that paint story was wild. That guy was weird. Like, he just wanted white paint to rub on his arms. Like, that's freaky. But if these two stories give you any kind of insight about how my hometown was and how it is and how like pretty much weird and crappy it is, hopefully this will give you some insight. But yeah, that's it for my story, guys. Like I said, if you guys like these hometown videos, you guys give me a like, sub to me, give me a view, and just tell me what you think about this series. Like, is this series any kind of entertaining at all, or am I just talking stupid? Like, you don't, like, if you believe my story, you know, awesome, I swear they're true. If you don't believe in my story, like, you know, that's cool. Hopefully you just like the story part. Like, at least you like the story. Like, it's not like it's, like, I'm not like, I'm not saying like, do you like how I lie and shit? Like, do you just like how I tell stories, you know? If that's the case, give me a like, sub to me, comment what you think. If it's not entertaining at all, just let me know and I'll stop doing them. But I think they're a lot of fun, and I think a lot of people would end up like liking them, you know. And so hopefully they are entertaining, because I love to do them, and hopefully people can see that and like come back to me and be like, yeah, these are great. But if they're not great, let me know and I'll stop them and I'll do like whatever you guys need me to do. Or like if you want me to stick to reaction videos, that's fine as well. But I think this is gonna pick up and do really well. Anyways, it don't matter. Like I said, I'm just rambling on. Like, subscribe, comment, and yeah, that's all you guys gotta do. Tell me what you think. You know, I'll read every comment. And Chad Ashby out.